Hi, I'm Valerie, a grant founder and CEO of Grant Consulting Services. And joining me today is Michelle, our amazing E-rate manager. Michelle has been working on E-rate for a number of years and has become our expert. And we want to go over our 2025-2026 E-rate checklist with you. So, Michelle, why don't we go through the list and let's talk about some of the things that are new and some of the important things that we want to make sure that our school leaders are able to fill out.
Of course. Hi, Valerie. And yeah, I am very excited to let everyone know that we already have the checklist for 2025, 2026 ready. And this will be going out really soon. So it's actually an honor to actually give a short or a brief detail about the checklist that we've actually done for our schools here. So to start with, it's actually the same, but we just needed to actually do some revision because there are actually a couple of new programs. So actually, it's not a new program, but two additional programs that will be rolling in, and every school will have a chance to join and have this program for the school. So let's start. Of course, the school name will be here, just like the
Mhm.
usual, the school address. But if there is actually any changes or there's something that needs to be edited with the address, they could always reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to edit that for them and update it on EPC if we actually need to. And then um,
And
another
let's point out, if we could, that the dates to change addresses and school counts are very limited. So we have to have that information early as we're starting to work with the schools, right?
yes, that is actually
Thank you.
right. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then for the student count, we actually need this to be very accurate, Valerie, because this is where the funds will actually depend, and if there will be any changes for the NSLP and the CEP program, will be more than grateful to actually edit it for them. But if they could actually provide third party evidence like documentation, the URL or the website where you guys will be getting those details will be greatly appreciated.
Mhm.
And yeah, because based on experience during the past reviews, E-rate is asking a lot more details about the student counts and the program that they're actually in.
Right, right. And that's such an important point. And for the purpose of this E-rate checklist, school leaders want to fill in either the number of students that qualify for NSLP or the CEP percentage of students that are eligible. For CEP, it's one or the other, not both. And then it would be super helpful also to have the CEP base year or the beginning year that they started with the CEP program.
Yes, yes, totally right. We only need one of those. So if they are joining NSLP, they cannot be joining CP anymore. So only one of those will actually do.
Okay. Great. And those percentages affect the percent reimbursement on the category one services, which you're about to get to, and then also can affect the amount of funding for category two, which we'll explain in just a few minutes.
Yes, exactly. That is right.
So then going on to category one, what have we got this year?
Okay, so we still have the internet services that we're actually giving or the school are getting. So it's gonna be either fiber or the fiber services or the coax. So here we'll be providing the current internet service provider, their internet bandwidth, and the contract and date. So if the school wanted to upgrade or increase their bandwidth, they just need to put it in here
Hmm.
and just say yes or no. And then what is the speed that they want. So is it from 1 gigabyte to 2 gigabyte, or 500 to 1 gigabyte, something like that.
Mhm.
So some schools, they do have both fiber and coax, so it will be listed here if it's fiber or coax, or if
Mhm.
just you just see one here. And
Right.
then
And
um
if I could ask a question, I see on the left-hand side, there's a yes/no. What do you want people to do with that? Yes, no.
okay, that is actually great. So if they wanted to upgrade, or they still, if they are still availing the internet, they just need to click yes
Hmm.
here, and then know if they are actually no longer interested, because we actually have some new schools that they are still using the building's internet, so we are actually not processing any bids for them, so they
Hmm.
just click on no here. But
Right. Or if they don't want to upgrade, they would click no, but we're still going to apply for internet service for them. Is that
yes,
correct?
yes, that is right.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay. And then the new services, Valerie, that we are actually very excited to share with
Hmm.
our school. It's the Wi-Fi hotspot service.
Right.
Yeah. So we
That's
actually,
exciting.
yeah, we actually had this. Remember during the pandemic, when the students are not actually going to school, and the USAC provided them with wireless internet or hotspot. So this year, it's gonna be part of the program. Um, if the school wanted to join or give students Wi-Fi services or Wi-Fi hotspot, the equipment itself, they could actually join on this one,
Great. That's
right?
great. And then there's a couple of notes that that E-rate will only pay up to $25 per unit. You can get service over $25 per unit, but that will be out of pocket costs for the schools. And then E-rate will pay for hotspots, but only for the devices themselves, only up to $250.
Yes, that is exactly right. That is the
Great.
exact amount that E-rate will be covering for this.
Wonderful. And then we have bus Wi-Fi, which is also exciting.
Yeah. All right. So we actually rolled E-rate actually rolled this out last year, but unfortunately we only had one school that actually joined. So this year I am hoping that there will be more school that will be availing of this one. And if they actually have bus either leased or owned, they can actually apply for the bus Wi-Fi. So these
Great.
are the details that they only needed to provide. So just put in there if the bus is leased or owned. So again, regardless, and then the number of bus that they want to put Wi-Fi in, the make and the model of the bus, the desired speed, and the bus route.
Okay. And desired speed is for the Wi-Fi, not the bus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for the okay. And then the bus route is basically the geographic area, the main geographic area that the bus will be going to. Is it in Wayne County, Oakland County, another area where they'll be going to pick up students?
Yes, yes, that is right.
Great. Well, we're hoping more schools can utilize this. It can be so helpful for students to have access to Wi-Fi so they can do homework on the buses to and from home and
Yes,
school.
it's a very good program, and I
Mhm.
am very excited for this new two program that we actually have for the category one.
Great. And here we are at the category two budget. This is where schools can use these funds to purchase equipment and or ongoing maintenance services. So tell us about what's going on this year with category two.
All right. So for our category two budget, Valerie, the schools will have to max out or have their or use their funds for this year 2025-2026, because at the start of year 2026, new funds will be rolled out again depending on the number of student and the program that they have for the NSLP and for the CEP. And for this one, before actually getting into the equipments that they want to install or for the services, I strongly suggest that they actually check the available balance. So this will be
Mhm.
very detailed. We'll have here on this part the budget that was actually allocated starting 2021, and then each year that's been approved and what would be their available balance here.
Great. And so this will be filled in when people receive their checklist, and they will be able to see if there is a balance. Please spend it out in 2025. Purchase that equipment that maybe you've needed, or go ahead and contract with somebody to provide ongoing maintenance services. Because if you don't use it by the end of the 2025 funding year, as Michelle's saying, it will not roll over as it has in past years. It'll be gone. But the good news is the budget will reset and you'll get a new fresh pool of funding.
Yes, exactly.
And so
And
here's the list of equipment.
yes, so for the internal connections, we still have the same equipments that they could actually purchase. These are the ones that they can get. So it's the antennas, connectors, cabling, everything. It's actually
Mhm.
detailed here. If you still
And
have the
nothing has changed this year for this
budget,
list, correct?
yes, nothing has changed. That is actually
Great.
right. So it's still the same. And yeah, so if you still have the budget and you need some of this, yeah, please just do write the quantity and the make and the model that you actually
Mhm.
need for school. That would be for the internal connection. And the potential reimbursement, it will be updated here on this part. So it's not gonna be 85% for all, but that's gonna be probably the maximum. So just check this one for your potential reimbursement. So it would actually
Mhm.
depend on your
Right, that go ahead.
yeah, it will actually depend on the number of students and the category or the discount rate that will be allocated by E-rate.
Right, and that's why it's so important to have the correct student count and the correct, CEP or NSLP numbers, because it affects that, reimbursement percentage.
Exactly. And
And
then
then what do we have here with licenses?
yeah. So if there are any licenses, Valerie, that they need to renew, just put the license type that they need here, just like the usual information that we're asking from them. But please note, this is actually different from the new licenses that will be purchased when you actually purchase the new equipment. So this one will be just a renewal for anything that's already been purchased.
So if a school has a firewall that they've had for 3 years, the original licensing is expiring, they're gonna keep that firewall, but they have to purchase another license. It would go in this, box or in this category here.
Yes, please.
Great.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there has been some confusions before. So what you said is actually right. That's the exact thing that they actually need to do. Keep the equipment, but if they need to renew the license, just put in the license type here. So it will fall under this category.
great. And then moving down to the ongoing maintenance, there are 2 categories, and sometimes they can be confusing. So can you just, give us a little brief information about MIBS and BMIC? What's the difference and which one should the school choose in most cases?
All right. So in most cases, schools actually chooses MIBS because it actually has more stability, and actually based on experience for the past years, we only have like one or a couple of school that actually have chosen BMIC for their maintenance. So
Mhm.
again, BMIC would actually be an hourly rate, and emergency break fix is covered. But for MIBS, it's going to be a flat fee purchase, and there will be some technicians to be that will be on site
Okay,
remotely.
great. Great. And then the table that you have here, in most cases, it will be filled in with what we have as their current equipment, but it should be looked at and changed in case, let's say, a switch they got a new switch that needs to have maintenance that we haven't had listed before. They should add it to this list as well and remove old equipment that's no longer at the school because E-rate's going to review that and they're going to audit and ask questions. They're going to ask for a list if this isn't fully filled in.
That is right. And if there are actually equipment that has been purchased from the previous year, I am going to include it here in red font, so that it will just actually be there for you to see if that is actually correct. Because I base on the form for everyone, or the funding request that I did. So I will put everything here, including the old equipment that they have for the school. So if there's anything that needs to be changed, something that we missed, or something we need to add, please just fill it up here and let us know.
Wonderful. What else do we have on
Uh,
this E-rate checklist? Is that the bottom or
yeah, that's
is there?
the end of it for
That's the
now.
end.
But yeah, so it we made it very simple, and hopefully it's gonna be easier for them to fill everything in. And again, if there's anything, any question or any clarification, we are here, and we'll be more than happy to assist every school.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your wonderful explanation. I think it'll be really helpful for school leaders and others to completely and fully fill this in. It'll help expedite the E-rate process and help them to get their approvals really quickly. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Valerie.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye
Thank
now.
you. Bye.